Welcome to Moose Court. Today we have a guy that's suing his ex-girlfriend in Judge Middleton's small claims court. I think he's been harassing her, and this is just another way to harass her some more, but you be the judge of that. Let me know what you think in the comments, and here we go.
All right, our next matter, and really only contested matter of the day in small claims court, is the following matter. It's entitled Chadwick A. Dunkley versus Corrine Bauman. The file number is 2468 SC, which stands for small claims. It's a claim for the statutory maximum, $7,000. Are you Chadwick Dunkley?
Yes, sir.
And are you Corrine Bauman?
Yes, I am.
This is a claim by Mr. Dunkley. The parties purchased a vehicle together, and they took out a loan, and I guess maybe not, and they were to each pay half the loan. They broke up in October, and she has not paid anything. The amount of the loan is $12,000. The amount of the balance is $12,861. And let me see if that's actually in here. It's to Omni Credit Union. Mr. Dunkley, why do you believe that she owes you $7,000?
Your Honor, I'm just going to try to keep this really simple. The loan was for $14,257. When we split up, the loan still had a balance of, I believe, $12,861.76. Her half of that would have been $6,000. Where's my phone? I apologize, Your Honor.
Well, if we divide 12,861, let's just call it 12,862. Divided by 2 equals 6,431.
Correct.
All right. Why does she owe that to you?
Well, because all the money comes out of my account. She hasn't even attempted to pay me anything for the loan. The loan automatically comes out of my account. I cannot get her name off of the loan until after I've gotten some sort of a judgment ordering her to pay her half the loan. She is a co-borrower just like I am. And that's basically, other than the court costs and the cost of having her served, is basically all I'm asking for is her half of the money, which we've been separated now for over 5 months. She hasn't even attempted to give me any money. So she's done nothing but tied my hands behind my back.
Well, she doesn't owe you the money. She owes Omni Credit Union the money. And if she gives you a check for $6,471, you could go out and buy a new fishing boat or go to the casino. She doesn't owe you the money. She owes the bank. Now, I'm going to look at the terms of the debt. Theoretically, if it's joint and several, once you pay it off, you could sue her for the other half. But the way joint and several works is you owe all of it, or she owes all of it, or theoretically each owe half of it. You borrowed this money together without being married, which wasn't very wise. But the way joint and several works, if you borrow it together and you're the only one they can collect from, they collect from you.
Right, that's what
Now,
we're doing.
or if she moved to Australia and they can't find her, they collect everything from you, or vice versa. Or you die, she's the only one left, they collect from her. Now, what was the money used to purchase?
We used it to combine two loans together, two debts that we had. She had a debt of $8,634.32, and I had a debt of $5,633 or $31.37, I believe. The money comes directly out of my account every month as a schedule. It comes out every month on the 10th.
Well, this wasn't very smart business decision. Ms. Bauman, what's your position? He's paying the whole debt and you're not paying anything on it.
Actually, I feel like I have. On October 6th, my full check of $1,325.83 went into a joint account of ours. On October 10th, the payment came out for the October. When I left on October 20th, I transferred $200 into that joint account, which would cover November's, and I did not take any money out of that joint account when I left. None. So I started over with a partial paycheck that went into my own account on the 20th, because I put the $200 in. That would have covered November's. He says in his file that I missed November, December, and January at the time of filing, which he actually did a skip payment in December, so there was no payment in December. And I feel like the money that I left in that account more than covered some of these payments, most of these payments at least. And he says that he couldn't get a hold of me, which was because of personal reasons. My Captain Smith on the Mounted Division and Captain TJ Baker both recommended that I not respond to him. So I ended up blocking him on my phone so that he could not contact me anymore because he was harassing me. So no, I have not made any payments at this time because, like I said, I feel like I've covered most of them up to now. And I have been to the bank a couple of different times to try and figure out how to get this taken care of so I could get my name off of it. I have a horse trailer up for sale. So that way, when I sell that, I could take in my half and pay my half off. But if I do that, I would like my name taken off of the loan.
Well, that's up to the bank.
Right.
But this debt isn't right, meaning it's not paid yet. He doesn't, you don't owe him the money, you owe the bank.
Correct.
And if the bank chose to sue you both jointly and severally, they could get a judgment to collect from either one of you. Right now, he's making the payment, which is commendable, or making some of the payments. You're contending he's made some of the payments using your money. It's possible if you bring in $6,500 and say, can I be taken off this loan, that they'll do it. I doubt that they will, because if he dropped dead, they're not able to collect. This was very foolish, as I've said for the third time, for you guys to do this together. Mr. Dunkley, you signed on to her $8,000 debt by doing it
Yes,
this way.
sir. I
And
agree with that.
You're living with it. So
Yes.
I find no cause, meaning you get zero. However, if you pay the whole thing off, you can sue her for the other half. So
Okay, I
what
can
you
go
need
to, Your
You
Honor.
need to keep very close track of how much each of you pay on this debt. But there's nothing to prohibit me from, let's say I order she pay you $6,400.
Yes,
And
sir.
you go in there and pay it to the bank.
Yes, sir.
Well, then you'd be liable for the rest. But
Yeah,
there's
I
nothing
can,
that, go
Your
ahead.
Honor, I'm sorry. I've spoke to the bank. I can actually get the loan out of her name. They can give me the loan by myself. I have good enough credit that I can go in and refinance the loan and take her name right off the loan. But they wanted me to wait until I had some sort of judgment saying that she owed me for half of the loan.
She doesn't owe you, she owes them.
Okay, so if
And
I
they
go,
can sue her, but they can't have you sue her for their half of the debt.
okay, so can I ask this, Your Honor? And I'm sorry if I'm out of line. If I go tomorrow and refinance the loan, should I then take her back to court?
You're on thin ice because you're accepting a whole new debt. I would not recommend that you do that. That's your choice. I'm not compelling you to do that. So if you go put this whole thing in your name, it becomes your debt and takes her off of it. So I would not recommend it. However, if she sells a horse trailer and a Tierra and pays this off, the bank may agree to take her off. It's a small local bank, but right now she owes them, not you. Now, if you do, my recommendation is you not take a new loan. If you pay this loan off and she's paid none, you can sue her for her half. However, that's why I recommend that you both keep very close track of who paid what, because at some point it's going to be hard to discern. But you guys made an unwise decision while you were together and you're both stuck with it. And if the bank chooses to sue you both, I could do something, but you don't want to stop paying, get sued by the bank and have this go on your credit. So I understand why you're doing this, but
Yes, I've worked
in
very
the
hard.
legal parlance, the case is not right. It's not done. And if I order her to pay you that money, there's nothing that guarantees you'll use it to pay the debt. So she can negotiate with the bank, Ms. Baumann, if they agree to take you off of it and leave the other half in his name. More power to both of you. Then Chad, you're just paying your half. But you don't have a cause of action. So
Okay.
you'll get an order. Are you still at the Michigan Avenue address?
Yes, sir.
And you're still at the Mint Road address?
Correct.
All right. I'm sorry, but that's the unpleasant answer to this question. You're both free to go. I'll send you a copy of the order.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Let me know what you think in the comments. Is he using small claims court as another way to harass his girlfriend? She has spoken to an attorney about him. She's blocked him on her phone. And you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if he put all kinds of pressure on her to co-sign on the loan and put her name on it. Anyhow, she's trying to make it right, it sounds like. Let me know what you think in the comments, and thanks for watching.